Hello everybody, we are here with a timeless reading. Before we get started, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. Alright, I'm seeing something interesting. Definitely being guided to especially trust yourself and lean into your intuition, what you're picking up on. I'm seeing something start to feel very heavy. However, I am seeing you get through it. This looks like something that was very challenging. To have the Devil and the Six of Wands, this can be a situation where there was some type of attachment that you had to something, to someone, to a situation, to a feeling, to a title, anything that the Devil can represent. Because the Devil's going to come through and be like, I am the solution to your problems. But it's trying to offer you a worldly solution to actually a spiritual problem, if you're having one, which you would have been if this was something that was appealing to you. But what I'm seeing is that you have overcome this. So this can be, let's just use an example. Say you wanted to quit smoking cigarettes, okay? This is you doing that. Like, you've quit. So whatever this is that you have gone through, I'm seeing this be a huge accomplishment. The reason why this is such a big deal is that the Devil is the thing that is basically coded specifically for us, that's going to have us like fall trap to it when we are when we're like buying into the illusion of something, okay? Like when we're involved in the matrix and we think that something outside of us is going to be the answer. And the Devil is like that specific thing for each person. So whatever that thing is, whatever your desire system is connected with, this is the thing that's like specially made for you to appeal to you, to see if it can get you stuck in that trap of it. And so this is going to be like the hardest thing to overcome within the 3D. And here you are doing that. This means that like you have cut cords, whatever this was, it's completely severed now. Like, you are not a slave to whatever this is. This is you completely taking back your agency. This is huge. It's a very big deal. A very big deal. I'm seeing something that took a long time. Oh, what a relief. Definitely feeling that. I'm getting just like all of the excitement of you collecting all of your energy and bringing it back to you. There can still be some anxiety that you're feeling. It can be something that you're still thinking about a lot. Maybe some uncomfortable thoughts. Yeah, this could have been anything that you were addicted to. In some form. Something that there had been like a habit created around this. Especially with Neptune here, because the shadow of Neptune is like being addicted to things. Well, yeah, the shadow of Neptune is the hope to escape. So using anything as a means of escape. So whatever this was for you, it could have been like your way to escape, meaning to bypass, meaning to avoid things. But I'm seeing this is now something that you're aware of and like learning to mitigate at this point. It's also like the shadow of Neptune can also be like the lies that we tell ourselves as well. The things that we get into that sometimes we're not even being honest with ourselves about how something isn't healthy, or like we're not consciously ready to recognize or realize this thing. But it's something that would have been keeping you sort of in the shadow. And it's something that needed to be recognized, realized. The thing too about escaping is that as long as we're escaping, we're not present enough to change what needs to change to allow us to want to be present. So even though it can feel very uncomfortable to be present sometimes, those are the first steps needed for us to change the things that need to change in order for us to want to even be present in the first place. Yeah, I'm seeing some shadow stuff that's feeling very, very heavy. You need to make sure that you set boundaries with yourself so you don't get sucked back into whatever this is. So right now you could be assessing what you need to do to make sure that you don't go back into this, is what I'm seeing. So it's like you're out, you're in the clear, but you have to make sure that, well, what the guidance is saying is that you need to think about what you need to do in order to make sure that you don't go back in that direction. Like, why were you in that place in the first place? Like, what were you doing? What was it doing for you? Because you know, with the devil, it's like, is something that can feel alleviating because it can be like something on a deeper level is going on, but the devil can be like a band-aid that we slap onto it that in a moment can make us feel good, but then it ends up taking away our agency and it doesn't empower us. It just makes us dependent on that thing. And so this is about figuring out like what the catalyst was for that in the first place and how to achieve what you need to achieve in like a wholesome way. And in a way that is like reinforcing your own empowerment and allowing you to feel complete all by yourself and that you don't need to supplement with something outside of yourself. So this is about like analyzing why you were brought there in the first place and like what were you trying to avoid, bypass, escape from, run away from, and using that thing as a way to do so, like as a vehicle for that. Because if you don't get to the heart of it, it's going to be very easy to trickle back in. Because that same like problem or issue is still there that created this scenario in the first place. But I'm seeing you be quite lucid right now. If you are willing to look into this, you're going to find exactly like both the answer and the solution that you have been looking for, wanting to understand this. And you're going to understand why you were doing that in the first place, like why you had gotten caught up in that. So there's a lot of self-understanding here that's happening. But you have to be disciplined to get yourself, if you want to, on track to be looking through this to realize what you need to realize. But I'm seeing the answers be available to you. It's just a matter of how determined you are to receive them. And then I'm seeing you know exactly what you need to do moving forward. There's a big restoration of balance here that I'm seeing. Just know too that like with the devil, it doesn't have to be like we were talking about cigarettes right before, like someone can be addicted to like that feeling, right? It doesn't have to be something physical. It can be like someone being addicted to their anger, you know? So don't just see it in the frame of something that's like a tangible object. It can be all of the different things that are connected within the matrix and within the sensations that we feel in this like physical vessel on the 3D plane. It can be anything that we experience in a sensory way. And emotions and thoughts and psychology all fall into that category. It's like a pattern, it's a habit. So regardless of how we're playing it out, it's all connected with that having some sort of stimulus that kicks off the cycle of repetition. But here, I'm seeing you are recognizing how to balance this out, but there could have been something that like actually needed to be released Because you could have had maybe your reasons for doing what you were doing and potentially felt a bit righteous for holding on to what you were holding on to, but it was actually trapping you is what I'm seeing. And that's why it needed to be surrendered, so you could reframe. That's only if you wanted to be released from this. I'm seeing you feel good about, like, the way that you're understanding things, the way that you're seeing things. I'm seeing you get, like, pretty confident here, too, with, like, because you're analyzing and because you're looking through things, the ways that you're advocating for yourself and understanding yourself and what you need and boundaries that you need to place, especially with yourself. Even a place that you want to get to mentally. I'm seeing you feel very good about this. Like, this is bringing about a sense of confidence that maybe you had been looking for this whole time, but just in the wrong place. This definitely feels like a huge restorative process for you. Yeah, I'm getting this again. What you had been doing before, you could have been hoping that it would bring about these feelings, like, towards yourself that you wanted to feel, but it was always fleeting, and it was never something that you feel like you accomplished it and got to stay there in that space. But actually, through this releasing of that thing that you thought was going to get you there, that's actually how you get there. Yeah, I'm looking at the High Priestess. There may be, this is not going to be all a one and done thing. There's going to be more to be understood, because I'm seeing you still figuring out, like, how to connect with your higher self here in a way that, like, sometimes messages that you get may feel a bit scrambled, and sometimes you can, sometimes the messages that you get are still feeling a bit scrambled and you're learning how to decode them. But if you are definitely on the path of wanting to understand how these things work and wanting to decode what your higher self is telling you, you're going to be able to accomplish it. It just takes sticking with it. But I'm not saying something that you can't do. I'm saying something that you're actually being encouraged to do here. But it's kind of like a puzzle that you're being given. It's also, yeah, I'm seeing that you're going to be, this is something that you're going to be accomplishing. It's not going to be easy. It's going to feel challenging, but I'm seeing something that you're, that you're going to be achieving. Also, too, to be beginning with the Devil and then to be ending with the High Priestess, this is you moving your awareness up, like, off the peg of where it had been before. Off the default settings. Up and above them. So that's what's happening currently. Looking at Capricorn, Libra, Neptune, the Moon, and Pluto. I'm also seeing Cancer on the bottom of the deck. Okay, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.